I wanted a hood. I wanted a hood, but it couldn't be too heavy because I was wearing, uh, sorry, I was wearing regular cotton hoodies. It's comfortable to start with a cotton hoodie, but next thing you know, you're sweating your butt off, and then you have to take the hood off, and that's all disruptive to sleep. So I wanted a hood, but it had to be breathable. It had to be lightweight. I wanted to block the light, so the mask made all the sense in the world. I wanted to muffle sound because that is a big disruptor. You can't always control your ambient light, ambient sound. I had never worn a sleep mask before, but all of these things made sense to me, and that's when I put this whole thing together. And when it worked for me, even in its crudest form, um, it was kind of a realization that I can't be the only one. So I applied for a patent. I ended up getting that about a year later. And you asked, who is this for? First and foremost, me. And then I can't be the only one that is not sleeping well, that is looking for like the ultimate functional sleepwear. Um, and come to find out, nearly 70% of the world's population is not sleeping well. And that's a big problem. Things are starting to change. The attitude towards sleep is starting to change. Where in the past, um, I'll sleep when I'm dead was the claim, which is just sounds so ignorant now. And we were ignorant to the fact, all of us, of how important sleep is to our overall health and well-being. It is the foundation on which the other pillars of health rest. And without a solid foundation, nothing else, your exercise and your diet are not will never be optimized. So it was people that weren't sleeping well. It was athletes who are always looking for an advantage. And in the past, sleep was not even looked at. It wasn't even discussed. A lot of the performance coaches will tell you that. No, we concentrated on diet. We concentrated on fitness. And if the kids couldn't sleep, then we'd give them a supplement of some sort. And that it was usually a sedative, and that is never good for truly rejuvenative sleep. It'll knock you out, but then your sleep quality won't be there. So they are starting to understand that, which is bringing sleep to the forefront. And even bigger than that is the sleep tracker that is now rather ubiquitous. If you don't have an Oura, you've got an Apple Ring, or you've got a standalone app on your phone, right? So people are really starting to pay attention to it. And if you apply a score to anything, suddenly it's like a competitive sport. So now people are trying to get higher scores. They are committing to their sleep. They're concentrating on their sleep routine, and the sleep hoodie is a big part of that. And I say it's just a part because there is no silver bullet, right? Everybody who is looking for better sleep, and that should be everybody, seeks out their own solutions, right? It could be melatonin, which I'm not a big proponent of, but even if it's a placebo effect that works, it still works. So it could be reading at night. It could be turning your lights down. And the sleep hoodie is a big, big part of that. And we try to stress that you, like any other activity, if you want to be good at it, you got to practice it. You have to put an effort in. So your sleep routine of turning the lights down, putting your sleepwear on, turning the sounds down, and just getting into the right space for sleep. And you've noticed when you put it on as a headband, it really starts to calm the mind and the body and get you into the right space for it. So athletes being kind of the lower hanging fruit, we started to reach out to their performance coaches and their GMs and the athletes themselves. And next thing you know, I started getting calls from athletes' agents saying, hey, this guy, this NBA star wants to work for you. They want to do a partnership. And it still is way too expensive for us to partner with these high profile athletes. But they are getting the benefit out of deep sleepwear, and someday we'll be able to afford paying this big name, big money. And the whole thing will explode. But we have been on NBA stars, recognizable names. We were on the Kansas City Chiefs when they went over to Germany. We were on one particular athlete, Will Freeze is his name. He's with the Colts. That when he went over to Germany and they won. I can't claim any credit for it, but we were part of the solution for Will because he wore it all the way on the plane there, all the way on the plane back. He wore it while he was in the hotel at Germany before the game. Like these guys will take game day naps, and he uses it for that. And a lot of other athletes do the same thing. We're on the Edmonton Oilers. We are on some of the soccer teams. Every major league sport has a team or players that are using or testing deep sleepwear right now. Mm-hmm. So that's who we're really going after now. It's the saying is, if it's good enough for the pros, it's good enough for the average Joes like us. And so that's kind of our go-to-market approach, if you will, is getting the testing and the testimonials done on these athletes, and then getting some proof from their trials, and then bringing that to the masses and saying, hey, we've got a solution for you. It's working for these athletes. It's also working for, everybody sleeps or tries to sleep, right? But there are people that as they age, sleep drops off. It's just kind of a natural thing. Menopausal women find this incredibly helpful because it will wick sweat, and temperature fluctuation for anybody, whether it's a menopausal woman or not, is a big disruptor for sleep. So we are trying to get out of the way of sustained sleep. And that's why everything is on board. Like you had pointed out, the mask is sewn right into the hood. I don't know if you can see that with the focus the way it is, but it's sewn in, so you'll never lose it. So everything is kind of on board, everything you need. The three most important ingredients of quality sleep are darkness, quiet, and body temperature control. And you get all three of those things out of this one really cozy, as you can attest to, comfy hoodie. And you're not often in control of your ambient temperature, ambient light, and ambient noise. So this kind of levels the playing field and puts you into the right spot, no matter who you are. It's great for like dorm life for college kids. It's tremendous for travel. I know you haven't traveled in this yet, but I look forward to your feedback as you go up to Boston. The way I put it, Ruth, is that you put this thing on, the mask and the hood at the same time, and you are, if you're on a plane, you're drooling within minutes. And it's like a built-in do not disturb sign, right? I mean, if you have the hood on, and it works great as a regular hoodie, but if you have the hood and the mask on at the same time, you are I'm not having a crazy hair day, so you get a better sense of what the thing looks and feels like. But this says go away. Right. So nobody's going to disturb you. The flight attendants generally won't disturb you. The person next to you might not disturb you until you wake up, and they'll ask, what is that thing? Where'd you get that? And I'm
going to jump in for a sec. I mean, I traveled for many, many years. I was, I formerly was an event and meeting planner, and so I was on a plane every week. And I'll tell you something, I wish I had this. I'm going to recommend this to all my event planners and friends. I mean, not only is it great, especially for, either long or short haul flights, it doesn't really matter. And about the hair part. But besides the fact that, you can do this, what I like also is like if somebody, takes their socks off on the plane, you can do this.
I love it. Yep.
So, even sadly, I mean, if there's like somebody sneezing next to you and you're really feeling like really uncomfortable, I honestly would not hesitate to do this.
I've seen people use it like that, especially during, the heavier panic COVID times. People use it like that. I can't, claim anything.
Stinky feet, but,
Yeah, sure.
But no, seriously, like, this is like, seriously, like, one of the best travel products, travel sleep products I have ever seen. I think
I
it
sure
should be
don't
at every
disagree.
single airport. I really do. I think it should be in every hotel and every airline. I mean, this is awesome.
So
Um,
let me interject on that. You
yeah,
said in the airport, a lot of our users will get naps, especially if there's a delay.
right,
And there have been some major delays.
right,
This thing is kind of a godsend
right.
if you're stuck in the airport. It's also very good for you. You mentioned hotels, hostels, um, um, Airbnbs, wherever you might be that is not familiar with you. By putting yourself into this cocoon with the mask and the hood, you're in your own space. So it really it helps combat that first night effect, which is a very real thing. If you're in a new hotel or just new surroundings, it can be very difficult to sleep. So by putting yourself into your own very private personal space within the hoodie, um, can help you get over any first night effect. And before you know it, you're out, and it's the next morning. I still get surprised, even if I go to bed later than I should. I'll put this on. I'll wake up. I'll expect it to be 3 o'clock, and in the morning, and it's 7 o'clock, and it just kind of blows my mind. Like,
Right.
this thing continues to work. It just works. It's very simple. There's no high tech. I mean, a tremendous amount of thought went into the material and how the mask is positioned, how the mask is padded, how it is sewn into the hood, all that. But you'll notice
Nothing
flat
can
lock,
break.
it's flat lock stitching, so
Right.
nothing will disturb you. We're getting out of your way of sustained sleeps, and that's really the strength of this thing. Too many products out there, too many gadgets. They try to throw the kitchen sink in there, and it just kind of it doesn't work because it's trying to do too much for too many. This
So
is simple and streamlined.
it's wonderful. We don't endorse, Sleep Forum is not like that, that we're here to inform people of ways to get better sleep, and also to inform people on what's going on in sleep health. We're not ones that just sit and talk about products all the time, but this
Right.
one I had to come on and do. And I just want to say one more thing, that for like only a short time, I think like 24 hours, Glenn will be offering an extra 10% on top of the 20%. So a total of 30% from, the Sleep Forum to you for the holidays. And he also has all his little elves ready to package and send, right? You've got like 100 elves there ready to package and send out at least 100 hoodies by tonight.
Everybody's ready to go. Yeah.
Everybody's ready to go. They're all lined up. And they're just waiting for your orders to come in. So I
Yeah. So
highly recommend it.
this is great. I'm happy thrilled to add that extra 10% off for
Thanks,
people that
Glenn.
are going to be paying attention to this. So you do need the code, the Sleep Forum 30.
The
So
Sleep
at
Forum 30
the
is the
Sleep
code.
Forum 30 is the code that you enter upon checkout, and you'll get
All right.
30% off your full purchase. That's quite a
Yeah.
deal.
That is quite a deal. It's a great deal. And
Mm.
it's something that you can get for you. I'm gonna buy a couple for my son and whatever, and a lot of other people in my family, because everybody can use it. It's
Great
great.
gift. It's a
Thanks
great
again.
gift.
Yeah, thanks for being on. I'm gonna go take a nap. I think I'm gonna go put my hood
You
on
got
and
the
be
gear.
around, and
You got the
yeah,
gear for it.
go have a little lunch and a little nappy.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
it's been a pleasure, really.
Yeah,
And
well, I
happy
sure appreciate it.
holidays. Have
Back
have
to you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great holiday, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Ruth.
All right, bye, Glenn.
Bye.